I know. It's time to get to the no half-step in hockey coverage, so let me deliver the goods. Time for operation number 740. Come on. Operation number 740. Show 744, the Renegades puck. And at this moment in hockey history, we are coming to the conclusion of this season very rapidly. The Nashville Predators are currently skated in 76 games. They have an overall record of 38, 30, and 8. 84 points has them 5th place overall in the Central Division. On home ice, which is where their next game will take place, they have a record of 19, 14, and 4. They've scored 213 goals on the season. They've given up 225, and that means a goal differential of -12. Now, updating you on the Central Division after tonight's action, the Dallas Stars reclaim first place, but listen to how close these things are right now. Dallas has skated in 77 games. They have 42 regulation wins. They have 98 points. That has them in first place this time. The Minnesota Wild are in second place. Same amount of games skated, 98 points as well. The Colorado Avalanche are in third place. 2 games fewer skated than Minnesota and Dallas, and they have 96 points. So it is officially a 3-team weave for first place overall in the Central Division, and it's going to come down to the final periods of the season to determine who will be the Central Division winner and who ultimately will be the 2-3 matchup. At this point in time, it's an absolute toss-up. The Winnipeg Jets are still very much in the playoff picture, but not in the division. They are very much in the playoff picture in the wild card. They are 4th in the Central. They have 89 points. Nashville Predators are 5th with 84 points. St. Louis now is at little E. Arizona, Chicago also with little E's next to their name, which means their season is now come to its conclusion. Now, that gets you caught up on the Central Division, but the wild card, where the Nashville Predators are still alive, it is getting longer and longer of a shot each and every point lost, but the Nashville Predators are still very much alive. Seattle's the number 1 wild card holder right now with 90 points, and that's where they are going to remain in the wild card race. The Pacific Division is all settled, and it is decided over there. So Seattle, 90 points. Winnipeg is at 89 points. Calgary, first team on the outside looking in, is at 87 points, and then the Nashville Predators are at 84 points. So the Preds, 5 points out of a wild card spot and would have to displace Calgary and Winnipeg or Seattle to get themselves in. Now, for the Nashville Predators, well, there's only 5 games left on the schedule after this game against the Vegas Golden Knights. So let me give you the remainder of the schedule. Thursday, Carolina Hurricanes are here in Bridgestone Arena. Saturday begins the final road trip of the season for the Preds in Winnipeg on Saturday, and then Monday closing out the road portion of the schedule for this season in Calgary. 2 very important games still if the Nashville Predators are to remain relevant, and they could go into this weekend with a big win in Winnipeg, and then Calgary, well, they could find themselves still very much alive in the last couple games of the season. Coming into the 13th of April, the Nashville Predators will welcome Minnesota into Bridgestone Arena, and on the 14th, we'll close out the regular season schedule versus the Colorado Avalanche. For the Nashville Predators, this is the final regular season meeting against the Vegas Golden Knights. The Vegas Golden Knights are currently in first place overall in the Pacific Division, and they are currently in first place in the Western Conference with 103 points, an overall record of 48, 22, and 7, a road record, very impressive, 25, 7, and 6, a goal differential of plus 37. Now, as said, they've already met 2 times this season, so we'll scroll all the way back to New Year's Eve. It was the Nashville Predators falling in Vegas 5-4 in overtime. Philip Forsberg almost got the job done that day, 3 goals in that game for the hat trick, but Vegas had 5 different goal scores, and that was more than the Nashville Predators' 4 total goals. Lankinen took the loss, going 27 out of 32. The 2 teams would meet at Bridgestone Arena on February the 7th. It would be the Vegas Golden Knights scoring the 5-1 victory. Vegas again utilizing the 5 different goal scorers philosophy to win that game by a score of 5-1. UC Soros took the loss in this one, 25 out of 29. So the Preds on the season are 0-1-1 against Vegas, and they've been outscored 10-5. The Vegas Golden Knights, let's take a look at their most recent stretch of hockey. Let's go back and talk about the last 5 games. It was on March the 25th. They scored a 4-3 overtime victory in Edmonton. Edmonton, also a playoff team, was a back-to-back with the Oilers. They followed it up on the 28th with a 7-4 loss at home versus Edmonton. Then on the 30th, a 4-3 overtime loss at San Jose. On the 1st of April, a 4-1 win at Minnesota. And then most recently on April 30, 4-3 shootout win at the Minnesota Wild. It was Brossoit net. He was 30 out of 33 in that game. Now, for the Nashville Predators, injuries have become the biggest storyline here as we wrap the season up. Yossi, Cole Smith, Parsonen, Duchesne, Forsberg, Luzon, and it seems like the list just goes on and on and on. I'm not even going to list every single player at this point, only the players that could have potentially come back before the end of the season. Now, we're taking a look inside the matchup, the NHL rankings, and where these two teams fit in the league picture. In the goals for category, the Nashville Predators have just been, without Yossi, without Forsberg, without Duchesne, just sliding towards the bottom of the league. 28th overall now in the NHL, 2.74 goals per game. The Vegas Golden Knights, however, are 3.27 goals per game. That's good for 14th best in the NHL. When it comes to goals against, the Preds are 12th best in the league, giving up only 2.93. The Vegas Golden Knights are giving up 2.82. That's 11th best in the NHL. In the shots for category, Nashville's 24th, 29.7 shots per game, while Vegas is generating 31.7 shots per game. That's 15th best in the league. Vegas gives up 31.1 shots against. That's also 15th in the NHL, while the Nashville Predators give up 33.2 shots per game. That is 27th overall in the NHL. When it comes to special teams, the Nashville Predators power play has been fairly unimpressive the entire season. 17.6% is their conversion rate, and that is 27th best in the league. 41 conversions on 233 opportunities. When it comes to the Vegas Golden Knights power play, 18th overall rated in the NHL, 40 conversions on 193 opportunities, or 20.7%. Penalty kill. Nashville Predators did take a slight slide back in the rankings, 11th now in the NHL. They were up to 9th before this last game. 81.4% is their kill rate. They've given up 48 power play goals against on the season. When it comes to Vegas Golden Knights penalty kill, 77.5% is their kill rate. That's 19th in the NHL. They've given up 41 power play goals against on the season. Now, every team in the NHL has incredibly high skilled players. We always talk about the top 5 individual scores, and for the Nashville Predators, it's really indicative when we talk about the top 5 scores to see just how much offense they're missing out of the lineup. That's why they're sliding so far back in the goals per game, and they're struggling so much to generate proper amounts of shots per game. Roman Yossi is out injured. 18 goals, 41 assists, 59 points, leads the team in points. Matt Duchesne, out injured. 22 goals, leads the team. 34 assists, 56 points, second overall in the team. Philip Forsberg, out injured. 19 and 23 for 42. Tommy Novak, the first active player we come to on the stats. 15 goals, 23 assists for 38 points. Then Glass, 13 and 18 for 31. Now, when it comes to the goaltending, I'll give you UC Saros' updated standings. 30, 22, and 7 is his record, a .916 save percentage, 2.76 goals against average. He played in the first night of back-to-backs. In the second night of back-to-backs, we expect it to be Lankinen versus the Vegas Golden Knights. He has a record of 8-7-1, a .917 save percentage, a 2.72 goals against average. Now, when it comes to the Vegas Golden Knights, Eichel leads the team in scoring, 27 goals and 36 assists for 63 points. Stevenson, 14 and 45 for 59. Marchessault, 26 and 28 for 54. Smith, 24 goals, 28 assists, 52 points. And Carlson, 14 and 37 for 51. These particular players typically do very good against the Nashville Predators. Thompson in net, 21, 13 and 3, a .915 save percentage, 2.65 goals against average. The Nashville Predators are taking on the number 1 team in the Western Conference. The Vegas Golden Knights are looking to secure that number 1 seed, lock that up. That means they would get the number 2 wild card team. That potentially could be this very same Nashville Predators team. But right now, it would be the Winnipeg Jets that the Vegas Golden Knights would be drawing in the first round if they're able to secure that first overall spot in the Western Conference. It's not easy for the Nashville Predators from here. Some very tough teams left on the schedule, but they're still statistically alive in the wildcard race, and they've got significant and meaningful minutes and impactful periods to play to round out the schedule. We've got the Rebirth Sports full game recap coming up next. We have got to go back and we have got to talk about the Nashville Predators' most recent game against the Dallas Stars, right here on the Renegades of Puck podcast.
Hockey players are as unique as the game itself, and your uniform should be tailored to fit you. Rebirth Sports is your sports apparel tailor. From shells, bags, warm-ups, hats, hoodies, branding, and more, let Rebirth Sports be your custom hockey tailor.
And don't forget to tell them they do more than just hockey.
Rebirth Sports on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Rebirth Sport, a match made in hockey.